So friends, today we are likely to discuss about the topic of design of pressure vessel. Now here you have to see in design of pressure vessel, what you have to do is, first of all, we have to classify the pressure vessel in two ways. One is the thin pressure vessel and another one is the thick pressure vessel. Now depending upon the dimensions, thickness and diameter of the pressure vessel, we have to classify the thin and thick pressure vessel that I will see in the subsequent slide. And for thin, we have to design the two types of the pressure vessel, cylindrical and spherical pressure vessels. And for thick, we have to design according to the Lam's equation, brittle and ductile material. So depending upon the material, what kind of equation that you have to use, that you have to see in the subsequent slides in the upcoming lectures. Now we have to see the introduction of the pressure vessels. So pressure vessels are normally a machine components are used to store the fluid under the pressure. So that is why it is called as the pressure vessel. For example, and sometimes it may happen that the pressure may not be steady. In some cases, pressure may be steady, like you have to store the petrol or diesel in the oil tanker, then the pressure may be steady. But in case of the steam boiler, as steam boiler cell is a kind of the pressure vessel. In that case, pressure is continuously variable. Okay, so depending upon the condition of the pressure, you have to take care about the designing of the pressure vessel, so that we have to avoid the sudden failure. Otherwise, there is a chance of explosion and loss of life or property is also there. Okay, so in the design of the pressure vessel, various kind of materials are used, ranging from the brittle such as cast iron to ductile as mild steel. And depending upon the application, you have to choose the appropriate material for the case. Now you have to see here, as we already discussed about the classification of the pressure vessels. So thick are, you have to take the ratio of thickness versus diameter, T over diameter, thickness versus diameter ratio. If your wall thickness is less than 1/10 of the diameter of the cell, less than 1/10 of the diameter, T is less than 1/10 of the diameter of the cell, or we can call it as D by 10 directly, then it is called as the thin pressure vessel, and if it is more, then it is called as the thick pressure vessel. Now depending upon the application of the pressure vessel, say for example boilers, some tanks, storage tanks and pipes are considered as thin pressure vessel, whereas high pressure cylinders, tanks, gun barrels are normally considered as thick pressure vessel. So in case of the application point of view, you have to keep the thickness uh, according to the requirement of the industry or component, and classify the pressure vessel accordingly. Now we have to design the pressure vessel one by one. First of all, we have to consider the design of the thin pressure vessel, and later on thick pressure vessel. Now for thin pressure vessel, we have discussed about the cylindrical cell and circumferential strain. Cylinder in form of the cylinder, pressure vessels in form of the cylinder. So this is about the design of the pressure vessel, cylindrical pressure vessel. And then you have to see the spherical pressure vessel later on. Spherical means globe. And here you have to see the cylinder. Now in this case, you have to see the stress is acting along the circumference of the circle, along the circumference of the pressure vessel. Just have to see here like this. So if along the circumference stresses are acted, then your pressure vessel is converted into two troughs. So we can call it as it has along the length of the axis of the pressure vessel, along the length, in case of the circumferential stress. And in this case, you have to see along the longitudinal stress, means along the stress along the length of the vessel. Your vessel is failed circumferentially. Reverse, along the circumferential stress, your failure is longitudinal, and along the longitudinal stress, your failure is circumferential. So that you have to keep in mind the reverse scenario. In both the cases, pressure vessel may fail. In first cases, it is called as the circumferential stress, and second one is called as the longitudinal stress. Okay, and in circumferential stress it is converted to taus, and in longitudinal stress it is converted into two separate cylindrical cells as shown in the figure. Okay, so now we have to see the equation, design point of the equation of designing such kind of the pressure vessels. Before that, you have to keep in mind the notation. P is the intensity of the pressure, D is the diameter of the cell, then L is the length of the cylindrical cell, T is the thickness of the cylindrical cell, and sigma T1 is the circumferential stress or hoop stress. Sometimes it is also called as the hoop stress, and sigma T2 is the longitudinal stress, or sometimes it is called as the stress over the length of the axis of the pressure vessel. So this is about the terminology of the pressure vessel before designing the things. Now we have to see our thin cylindrical pressure vessel is felt in two ways. One is the circumferential stress sigma T1, and how it is registered that we will see in these slides. So here you have to see as per the figure, the circumferential stress is acting along the longitudinal section is due to pressure is this. Just have to see pressure P. So pressure force is equal to fluid pressure into area, to which pressure fluid is acting the force. Fluid is applying the force. Fluid is applying the force in D into whole length L, diameter into whole length L. So this is the diameter and whole length L. So you have to see this rectangle, this inside rectangle over which your force is acting due to fluid, and this is registered by the material. So that material is nothing but this material sigma T1. Sigma T1 is the material or circumferential stress produced into T into L, thickness T into L, supported by this material. And why it is called as two section is there. So this is T and this is T. So twice T into T. Now at least to avoid the failure, this force, this pressure force should be equal to resisting force of the material. Otherwise your material may fail. If this is more, then your material may fail, and if it is more, then it is the wastage of material. So at least it is equal to this to avoid the failure. So we have to equating these two equation and finding the equation for the circumferential stress sigma T1 is equal to P into D by twice into T. L is omitted as the both side, or if you are trying to calculate the thickness, then P into D over twice into sigma T1. So this is equation of the circumferential stress. According to this equation, if circumferential stress or material is known, you can easily find out the thickness. So that is the design. In that case, diameter is given. In some cases, diameter may not be given. Some volume may be given. Capacity of the pressure vessel may be given. So in that case, what you have to do? You have to take pi by 4 d square into L. Pi by 4 d square, that is the volume of the material, into L, area into length. So in case length may be given, volume may be given, and you have to find out the diameter, and D, you have to use this D to calculate the T. So that is the ultimately in the design of the pressure vessel, you have to calculate the diameter and thickness. If diameter is not given and capacity is given, we can easily find out the diameter from the volume equation, and then subsequently you have to follow the stress equation to find out the thickness. Okay, for all the pressure vessel case. Now second failure, second type of the failure in the thin cylindrical cell, in which it is converted into two cylinders along the longitudinal stress. So this is the longitudinal stress acting over the P. P is the force and acting over this area, acting over the circular area. So pi by 4 d square, and it is registered by this strip, this H strip. So So sigma T2 into pi into D. Pi into D is the circumference of the circle, into T is the thickness. So this is the thickness that you have to keep. This is the thickness. So, and you have to equalize to avoid the failure. These two equation means pressure force is exactly equal to resisting force of the material, and equating this equation to get the T. Now we are equating this equation to get the thickness T2 in the next slide. So equating these two equation, we'll get sigma T2 longitudinal stress sigma T2 is equal to PD over 40, or T is equal to 4 PD over 4 into sigma T2. And if sometimes joint efficiency is given because of the joint, normally it is welded or say bolt, say riveted, then joint will definitely reduce the capacity or strength of the material. So at that time, it is used in this equation to uplift the thickness. If efficiency is given, you have to use this equation. Otherwise, you have to follow this equation, sigma T1 and sigma T2, and from both the equation, you have to find out the T, and whichever is higher is considered as the design thickness. And ideally, I will show you by means of example. By means of this example about the exact design procedure about the thin cylindrical pressure vessel. Now here data is given that diameter is given, so capacity is not given, so no need to calculate the diameter as we have discussed. Steam pressure P is given, then you have to find out the minimum wall thickness. Minimum wall thickness T under the longitudinal stress, that is 28, that is sigma T2, and circumferential stress, that is sigma T1 42. Here reverse is given, sigma T2 is given written first and then sigma T1 is written. So don't be confused. Circumferential stress means sigma T1 failure along the length longitudinal. Converted the cylinder into two troughs, and longitudinal stress is along the length of the axis and fail circumferentially, converted the cylinder into two more cylinders. So by governing the two equations we have discussed in the previous slides, we have to find out the thickness. One sigma T2 is given, so T is equal to PD over 4 sigma T2, and find out this. And then circumferential sigma T1 is equal to T is equal to PD over 2 into sigma T1 is equal to 25. And ideally, I have already discussed that. If in certain case, the same problem may be asked to design the pressure vessel rather than calculating the thickness for the both the case. So same term is used. Suppose same term is used to design the pressure vessel, then you have to calculate the thickness for both the equation, and whichever is higher you have to consider it as design thickness. But I will tell you that ideally under the circumferential stress your thickness is always higher. So if you design the pressure vessel thin cylindrical pressure vessel under the circumferential stress, then obviously it is always safe under the longitudinal stress by default. Okay. So this is about the example, how it is used. Now another variety of the example I will show you. Just have to see, design the thin cylindrical pressure vessel of 500 mm diameter. Diameter is given, is subjected to an internal pressure of 2 Newton per mm square, and thickness T is again given, so there is no need to find out the thickness, but here in case you have to find out sigma T1, longitudinal stress sigma T2, and maximum shear stress tau max. That I will show you how to calculate. According to the maximum shear stress theory, tau maximum is equal to sigma T1 minus sigma T2 by 2. That I will show you in the upcoming slides. So how to calculate this problem? Just you have to see. First of all, you have to find out the hook stress sigma T1 according to the equation, that is 25 megapascal. Then you have to find out the longitudinal stress according to the equation, and finding like this. It is always half than the circumferential stress, and according to the maximum shear stress theory, that we have discussed in the mechanics of solids, say in first or second semester. Tau maximum is equal to sigma T1 minus sigma T2 by 2, that is 6.25 megapascal. 1 megapascal is equal to 1 Newton per mm square. So this is about the another variety of the problem. If thickness is given, you may be asking to calculate the stresses. Now we have to see the thin sphericals instead of cylindrical. You have to see the spherical shapes. Now spherical means you have to consider the globe, earth globe, globe of the earth. Now globe of the earth means like this. So whether you have to cut along the vertical axis or along the horizontal axis, the failure is same like this. The failure is same like this along the circumference. The failure is along the circumference, as in case of sigma T2. So there is no longitudinal failure is there in this case, whether you have to cut in the vertically or whether you have to cut horizontally. So in both the cases, what you have to do in the design, you have to calculate the diameter and thickness of the cell. Diameter and thickness of the cell you have to calculate. If capacity of the vessel is given, if capacity of the vessel is not given, then diameter is directly given. Okay. So if volume is the storage capacity of the cell, if it is given, that I will show you. Okay, and sigma T is the permissible tensile stress of the material itself. So same thing you have to follow as we have discussed in the thin cylindrical pressure vessel. And first step, you have to calculate the diameter, that I have already told you. If capacity is given, volume, then for volume of the spherical cell is 4 by 3 pi r cube, and volume, from this volume you have to find the r and double it to find the d, or alternately pi by 6 in form of the d, pi by 6 d cube, and find out the d, whatever you can take. And then thickness of the cell. Now similarly, we are having the circumferential stress. So P into pi by 4 d square along the circumference. Failure is along the circumference. So longitudinal stress only. And effective resisting force is what? Pressure into area. Here area is equal to pi into d into t. That is the similar. Second case of the thin cylindrical cell. First case is not applicable to the spherical cell according to the shape of the cell. And equating this term will give you the final equation of the stress. Final equation of the stress or thickness T. P into D over 4 into sigma T. And also you can use here efficiency. If efficiency of joint is to be considered, needs to be considered, then you have to compulsorily use eta in this equation to calculate the thickness. So automatically thickness becomes higher to make it more safe. Now see the example here, beautiful example of the thin spherical cell of 3 meter diameter. Diameter is given, so no need to calculate the diameter. Capacity is not given again. Is subjected to an internal pressure of 1.5 Newton per mm square. So meter is to be converted into mm. You have to find out the thickness of the vessel if sigma T is given. And efficiency is also given, that so you have to use eta in terms of calculating the thickness. So what you have to do, let I will show you how to solve this example. Very simple example is there. First of all, you have to list it out. All the terminology is given, converted the all units into single unit to avoid the complications, and govern the equation of finding the T, put the values and find this. Now here you have to see 16.7, I will keep it 18 mm. So what you have to do, it may be 17 round figure, but in some case we have already discussed in the preferred number and standardization. You have to refer my preferred number and standardization video lecture, in which we have seen that certain industrial components are design in standards. We may use 16 mm, then next standard size may be 18 mm, not 17 mm. So in that case, nearest standard size should be taken. So that is the way why we have put 18 mm. And next standard size may be 20 mm, maybe 21 mm, maybe 22 mm, depending upon the design of the preferred number. So you have to also consider the standard dimensions available in the industry during the design process. Otherwise, it is very difficult to find that particular dimensions, thickness of the pressure vessel. So that error should be avoided in such cases. So this is about the design of the thick pressure, thin cylindrical cell. Now, in the next uh, video lectures, we have to see the design of the thick cylindrical cell. So in nutshell, in today's lecture, we have considered about the design of the thin cylindrical pressure vessel, thin spherical pressure vessel. For thin cylindrical pressure vessel, we have two types of the stress, sigma T1 cylindrical stress, sigma T2 longitudinal stress, and for thin spherical pressure vessel, there is no need of sigma T1, only sigma T2 equivalent to cylindrical cell because failure along the circumferential is only longitudinal stress for the spherical cell and finding out the thickness to have the design of the pressure vessel. And if capacity is given, then you have to use the equation of volume to find out the diameter. Then for the thin cylindrical cell, you have to calculate both the T, and whichever is higher is considered as the design thickness. And for thin spherical cell, only one thickness is to be there. So we have to keep our lecture up to this, and in the next lecture we will see the design of the thick pressure vessel. Keep it up and continue contacting with this thing. Thank you all.